bill is not. Andreas, perhaps.
Presidente, as you said, I'm asked by our shadow rapporteur Anna Corazza-Bildt to present shortly the point of view that she, on behalf of the EPP, wants to give on the presentation that Vicky gave. Zunächst mal, glaube ich, ist wichtig, deutlich.
First of all, I think it's important to make it clear that we are very grateful to the rapporteur for her positive approach to this file. We think we have made it clear where the compromises might lie. On the one hand, we have to respect the justifiable concerns of sportsmen and hunters, but of course, on the other hand, we need to ensure greater safety and security with regard to circulation of weapons. So Ms. Ford's proposal to postpone the vote until July should not prevent us from doing everything we can, the Shadow Rapporteur doing everything she can to contribute to this being dealt with quickly. There are a few areas where Ms. Corazza-Bildt has detailed proposals, and I'm going to read them out in English because she's given me her instructions in English.
Part of proposed changes by herself concerns, first of all, the essential components and marking. Traceability, from her point of view, must be ensured, but the EPP can agree to mark essential components if this is feasible. We must ensure traceability, but at the same time in a pragmatic approach. And I think that goes quite in the same line as Vicky has already said. Secondly, on modification, it's important that owners can do minor modifications themselves without having to be a registered dealer. If changes do lead to a change in category of the firearm, for sure, we are ready then also to go for modification. The third point concerns the collectors or the museums. From the point of view of Anna, it should be possible for member states to choose to authorize persons dedicated to the gathering, study and conservation of firearms to possess firearms classified in category A, provided that necessary measures for safe storage has been taken. The fourth point is a very critical one, Mr. President. This is the question of medical checks. Article 5, paragraph 2. We believe that it is important to make sure that only people physically and mentally fit to possess a weapon can do it. In Europe, we have many different systems for this, and it is important that the checks can be designed by member states. And I think by designing this process to member states, we can avoid a lot of problems that may exist with the proposal of the European Commission. The pre-final point is the distance sales, Article 6, where Ms. Corazza-Bildt proposes that the ban on trade over the internet, telephone, email through ads in magazines is simply too much, and therefore she thinks that this makes it difficult for people in rural areas. From her point of view, it should be important that member states can make sure that transactions take place under conditions that allow verification of identity and of the right to engage in such a transaction. Then there are some points on limited licenses on categories of firearms, but I think we are already quite close to what Vicky has presented, not in this meeting, but in the last meeting. So to conclude, I should say that the proposed changes would strengthen the parts of the proposal that could contribute to combat and prevent crime. And at the same time, we reject changes in the directive that only add burden and restrict freedom without any added value, and therefore we hope that the compromises that Vicky will present to us can fix this all and bring us to a very smooth vote. Thank you so much, Mr. President.